Really knows how to blog. I've made in the last 3 years several $1 million blogging myself. I've done probably close to $25 million in sales using blogging. I really don't do the paid media that we do from our affiliate account in Power Network. I don't even know how to do it. Dave Sharp does. And so I'm a content guy, and so I'm always really fascinated to bring people out who really understand content marketing. Now, just a little background on the guy that we're going to have doing the majority of the training today, Chris Record. You see his picture up here on the screen. I actually met Chris through Power Network. I didn't know anything about him. I logged into our back office one day, and our affiliate account was getting, several pass-up sales a day from this guy, Chris Record. And so that's actually, I got to know him here. Didn't know a lot about him until he spoke at our event, and when I heard him speak, he just had the gift for training, picked his brain a little bit, and he's a content guy as well, makes a majority of his money through blogging. And here's the interesting thing, what he's going to go over tonight, Chris is a part-timer in Power Network. He has a full-time job. He works 50, 60 hours a week at. He's a parent. He has 2 kids. He's a Christian guy, so you're not hear a lot of cussing and swearing on the webinar tonight. But everything that he does here is part-time. And in that, I don't know actually how many 6-figure income earners he has in his team now, but at our last event, he had 3 6-figure earners in his team. He's only been involved since June, and he is just one of the most powerful trainers that just keeps things concise on point that I've ever heard in my life. And so what we're going to cover today is how to make a lot of money blogging, how to do it efficiently, how to do it in a short amount of time so you're not wasting your entire day in blogging all day. And you're going to get to hear from a guy who his first month in the direct sales industry was a multiple 6-figure earner. His first month in Power Network part-time, he made 6 figures. And Chris, man, I'm just excited to have you out. I hope that you can talk and we're not going to have any technical difficulties today. I'm in a place with much better internet. We've got all sorts of backups. I know we got you as an organizer as well. But I'm just going to keep it relaxed, man. I'm excited about the content. I'm excited about what you have to share. And so without any further ado, man, the floor is yours. I'm turning it over to you, and I'm just going to be sitting back in the background here muted out. If you need me for anything, feel free to drag me on out. If you want to pick my brain about any of these subjects, I'd be happy to come out and help. And we're going to come out at the end with some picking the minds of some of the other leaders here.
All right,
you good?
Here, Daddy, put this on for them.
That sounds great. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, brother.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm extremely excited. I had a chance to see that the webinar was packed, filled to capacity. That's always awesome. And this is the 15K formula product. So, this is really the higher end stuff. And so I want to do a couple things here today. The first thing I want to do is I'll do a little introduction. I promise I won't take too long with it because I want to dive into some content. But one of the things I want to do today is really provide content. I want to get right into it. I'm a content trainer. It's what I do. I'm not going to focus on the basics because I think that if you've gotten this point to the 15K, you're going to find your basics in other places. You're going to find it in the 8 first core steps that you're walking through. You're going to find it in some of the basics of getting started blogging training that's out there. So I'm going to make a couple assumptions. I'm going to make an assumption that you've got some basic knowledge, but you're looking for something a little bit more advanced. You're really looking to take blogging to the next level and be able to make it profitable. So with that being said, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. As David Wood said, my name is Chris Record. I'm currently a stay-at-home internet marketer. I don't do Power Network full-time. I actually have another 60-hour per week gig that I do. It's with a mobile app company. It's publicly traded. I'm more or less an employee over there, but I love what I do. It's all about just being passionate what you do. I sought out in Power Network because it fit in perfectly with what I was looking to do. I'm currently living in California, in Northern California, up in Roseville. I've been doing this for about 10 years. I wouldn't say I was a successful internet marketer for 10 years, but I've been in the game for about 10 years. I remember starting to design websites back in the day, and I was back in the days of Alta Vista and Lycos and Dogpile, and for some of you on the webinar, you're probably familiar with everything there. And before I get started in today's webinar, let me share with you, some of the early successes that I had in hopes that you can learn from some of my mistakes as well as some of my successes. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a little bit of both. Background on me: I made my first 6 figures online back in 2005. Now the crazy thing is before making my first 6 figures online, I was flat broke. I was living in a 250 square foot studio. I really had no job. I was just selling little $200 websites. I was just scraping to get by. But what happened was I began to leverage something called Google AdSense. Google AdSense hit the scene. This is actually a screenshot of my income back then, and this is actually daily income. So as you can see, I was averaging anywhere between $300 to $400 to $500, all the way up to $1,000. Now, this income came because blogs came to the scene. There was this new thing called blogging, and I didn't know a whole lot about it, but you could create these blogs, and you could put Google AdSense on them, and if you could figure out a way to drive traffic, you could make some money there. So here I was, I was in a 250 square foot studio. My girlfriend at the time had a 300 square foot studio, so I was always crashing out at her pad because it was so much bigger, all that extra space, but that's where I started with. This is how I started, was basically working out of these little small studios making this kind of money. So all the strategy I used to generate back then was blogging. I was primarily focused on blogging about trending news and online product reviews. So that's something that I'm going to share with you a little bit today. It's just kind of how to target some subjects that can drive a lot of traffic. And this is way back before blogging was popular. I mean, WordPress had just hit the scene, but nobody was really using it, or at least nobody I knew. And you were using all these just different funny little blogging services. So what was the secret to my success back then? It was all Google. Google had hit the scene. Google was the fresh new search engine. No more of that Alta Vista and Lycos and Dogpile and Ask Jeeves. It was all about getting traffic to Google. Until then, really, Yahoo was my best main source, but then Google hit the scene. It changed everything. I discovered how to actually rank my articles on the first page of Google for tons of top keyword phrases. Every article I wrote had ads by Google placed on them, and every time somebody clicked on one of those ads, that's how I was getting paid. So I loved it. Basically, I could get free traffic to my blog, and I was getting paid from that. Little did I know that simple strategy would result in a 6-figure income. But this is where I want to make it very clear to everybody on this 15K formula webinar. Despite the success, I still made a very crucial mistake, huge mistake. I didn't build a list. So here I was making a 6-figure income, but no list to show for it whatsoever. People would come to my site, click an ad, and they were gone. And all I got was these little checks that added up, but they were gone. A couple of years later, I actually got into direct sales. Now, I had always been in direct sales. I'm one of those guys that can relate to David Wood, because back in 1999, I got started with Quickstar, which was basically Amway. And it was a fun way to make no money for me back then, but it was a great learning ground. And so I was always attracted to the direct sales industry. So I found myself in a direct sales company. I decided to try out some of these internet marketing strategies to see if I could generate some leads there. As a result, not only was I able to make a large 6-figure income with that company, but I actually had my first 6-figure month. Now, to some of you here on this 15K webinar, I mean, making basically just $15,000 a month, right, would be phenomenal. But what if you could make $150,000 in a single month? Well, that's exactly what I did. Not just $15,000 a month, but $150,000 in a month. And so here's a quick little screenshot. As you can see there, I'll leave it up just long enough you can at least count the numbers. But those are basically my checks. Now, one thing I want to point out is, look at that, March 12th, 25,000, 4 days later, 16,000, 3 days later, 5,000. Now, what's really cool is that this company is actually no longer around. This was sort of one of those companies that was hot for a moment. I got in, I applied the strategies. But what I love about Empower Network is that you can make this kind of money with Empower Network. In fact, I believe you can make a heck of a lot more with Empower Network, and that's what's so exciting about it. I'm really quickly going to flash this picture of Bora Bora, because this is why it's all worth it to me, right? Is basically we're on top of the world, we're making great money. I actually went to Bora Bora on a company trip, and I proposed to my wife right there, as you can see, in those white sandy beaches with that crystal blue water. And I got down on one knee actually in the water and proposed. And now we're married and we've got kids. I have 2 kids under 2. So if anybody's watching this webinar and you're thinking, man, I'm really busy, I can relate. I've got 2 boys under 2. In fact, my newest addition is just 2 weeks old. So as I'm doing this webinar here, I'm at home in the other room. I've got a little 2-week-old cute little boy. I'm loving life. And this is the reason to do it, So I'm just trying to set the right foundation. We're gonna talk about some blogging strategies, but you have to really be driven as what is your why? What is the reason you're doing this? All right, despite all that massive money I was making, I made a very crucial mistake. Can you guess what it was? I didn't build a list. I still didn't build a list. All right, check this out. Late 2009, I started getting into social media marketing. I actually had my first $50,000 month from Facebook alone. Believe it or not, just contacting people on Facebook using this Facebook method I developed was crazy. All the connections were amazing. Everybody was, it was just working really well. But despite doing that, I kept making the same mistake. I know you can guess what it was this time, right? I didn't build a list. So why is this so important? It's because there's a lot of people out there having success, but they're not really harnessing the power of what they have. We have a viral blogging platform here, but I really want to make sure everybody understands what's really going on and why this is so important. Fast forward to today. Today I'm doing consulting for a publicly traded company, creating automated passive income, teaching people how to make money online now with Empower Network. But this time around, everything's different. I'm focused on building a list. So I'm going to encourage you, don't make the same mistakes that I made. I learned a long time ago that wisdom comes from two places, mistakes and mentors. So hopefully you won't have to have the same mistakes that I made early on. And I want to make sure that you take the strategies you're going to learn today and you build a huge email list with them. All right, with that being said, today we're going to focus on the 3 C's of marketing. So if you've got a pen and paper out, what I want you to write down right now is the 3 C's of marketing. Okay? Here's the 3 C's. Now, these are the 3 C's of online marketing. I really learned this from David Wood. When I first joined Empower Network, I did not have these 3 C's of marketing. And David Wood didn't necessarily say them in this order or make them all C's. That's just something I did there. But this is really the essence of what I learned here, okay? In a nutshell, I'm going to try to teach you how to create more traffic. Okay, that's what we're going to do here. Capture more leads and convert more sales. Now, it's not my goal to teach you all of that tonight. That's sort of the whole foundation of what Empower Network is, in my opinion, in a nutshell. Empower Network teaches you how to create more traffic, how to capture more leads, and how to convert more sales. Well, the viral blogging system actually does all 3. Okay? You're able to create traffic through the viral blogging system. It captures leads automatically, and it converts those leads into sales. So that's what attracted me into Empower Network. Was the blogging system was so powerful, so crazy awesome that I had to get involved with this. And if you can just learn to master these 3 C's, you're going to become a powerhouse in the internet marketing world. And also, I have one more goal. My goal is to do this in a way that's so simple that the average person can have success. So I want to get advanced because this is 15K formula training, but I also want to keep it simple so the average person can really, get what's going on here. A lot of you might have just bought this product. You might even be in your first week, okay? So you got to realize that if the average person can have success, everybody can have success. So let's get started with today's strategy. The summary of my content here is creating traffic through compelling content. And I'm not going to be the only presenter tonight. We're going to have a couple more people. We're going to talk about compelling content. Really, how to draw people in, how to suck people in, how to make your blog so sticky that everybody wants to come and buy whatever you have. Okay. So that being said, let's switch over here to the internet. Let's do a little bit of live stuff. Okay. Right now, you're looking at my Empower Network blog. Pretty much, we all get the same blog. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through a few things. Okay, first I'm going to talk about the mindset. So, my screen might not do much for the next couple minutes. It might just be pretty safe because I'm going to just talk to you verbally about the mindset that you need to have to be successful here. I'm also going to talk to you about a couple pitfalls that you want to avoid no matter what. And then after that, we're going to talk about what are some tweaks and changes that I've done to my blog that you can do to your blog that'll make a big difference. Okay, despite what you might think, these blogs are highly customizable. Everybody goes, oh, well, can I change out these banners or do this and that? Those are a good thing. Keep those there. Those are there for your success. Don't get in the way of your success. Leave the stuff that's supposed to be there. Leave it there. And Dave and Dave have put together the ability for us to tweak and change things and make them that much more awesome. So first, bear with me if you will. Let's talk a little bit about mindset just for a couple minutes. Okay? The mindset of a successful blogger is simply this. Blogging is somewhat of a long-term strategy. Okay, you got to have the right mindset. It's the long-term play. So if you're getting in blogging, it's going to take a while for you to write enough articles and for Google to index those articles and for Google to calculate what they call their page rank and for all of these things to happen. Look, it's going to take a while. So the bottom line is can it happen instantly overnight? Maybe for some of you. But David Wood blogged for like a whole month and didn't get any results, right? It wasn't until, I don't recall, it was the 2nd or 3rd month or so that he started seeing results blogging. It was the same thing for me. I blogged straight for about 90 days before I really saw results when I first started blogging. And even when I got into Empower Network, I thought, man, I know how to blog, so this will be really easy. But I still prepared I got started in June. I considered June, July, and August, those 3 months. I said, if I could at least write a blog post a day, every single day for 3 months, then at the end of 3 months, finally, I think that I'll have my blog in a position where it's producing and generating some traffic and stuff like that. So the right mindset is to realize, look, blogging is what you want to do for long-term residual leads, residual free traffic from Google, and you're going to keep building it, and eventually it's going to get to the point where it's just a cash cow for you, right? That's the goal. But if you're getting in with the wrong mindset, you're going to get in and you're going to think you're going to get rich overnight. Okay, and this is so important because I train people every single day in my organization how to blog. It's one of the things I really focus on. And a lot of people come in and they tell me, oh man, I've been blogging for 3 days straight. When are the leads going to come in? I haven't even got a single lead. Well, that's the wrong mindset. In fact, that's the first pitfall that you want to avoid. The first pitfall you want to avoid is thinking that blogging is going to make you instant money. Okay, blogging is going to make you instant money. But anything's possible. I don't want to rule out the realm of possibility. Okay, I love thinking abundantly. Okay, but at the same time, I also love thinking realistically. If you're looking to create instant money, you should probably be advertising. And you should probably be advertising the lead capture pages necessarily instead of just the blog. So you should probably be advertising and sending people to a place where they have to enter their email to get the information. You should be building your list, and you should have autoresponders, and you should be sending them emails. That's going to make the immediate income for you in this business. Now, while you're doing that, you're blogging and you're setting yourself up for long-term income. Okay, so the first pitfall to avoid is thinking that you're going to make immediate income or banking on that, counting on that. Okay, the second pitfall that I want you to avoid, no matter what, is to think that all you have to do is blog. To think that that's it. I talk to people all the time, and they say, well, Chris, I blog daily, and I'm not making money from it. Well, when I first joined Empower Network, they had a nice little tagline. Okay, it was 3 things. Blog daily, tell others, get paid. Blog daily, tell others, get paid. And I loved it. I'm sitting here going, in fact, it might not have even been get paid. Dave and Dave are so gangster, I think it was get money. I think they're literally like, no, I can imagine them sitting around a room. Get paid, no, that's too wussy. Let's just call it get money, That's just how they are. So blog daily, tell others, and get money. But you know what the pitfall is? Is that people skip step 2, tell others. What they think is, hey, I'm blogging daily and I'm trying to get my money. What's happening? Telling others is promotion. Telling others is advertising. Telling others means you can tell others a lot of different ways, but telling others specifically means, hey, go promote your post in social media. Go optimize your post so that it can be visible and found in Google. Or possibly even advertise or get some link popularity pointing into your blog. There's lots of ways to tell others. Put your blog in your email signature. Go and start conversations and comments on other sites and post relevant articles. I mean, there's so many things you can do to tell others. But if you're not telling others, if you're just writing a blog post and that's it, then I've got news for you. You're counting on luck. I mean, look, Empower Network is awesome. Don't get me wrong. We have a super high Alexa ranking on our blog, and some of you might get lucky. But I would never bank on luck when it came to feeding my family. I would never bank on luck when it came to creating a 6-figure income. I'm just not a guy that banks on luck. I blank, unless luck, of course, is labor under correct knowledge, L-U-C-K. In that case, hey, I'm very lucky. Labor under correct knowledge. And that's more or less what I want to teach you, is how to avoid these pitfalls. Okay. Now, the final pitfall that I want to talk to you about is blogging, but spending too much time doing it. Okay, spending too much time doing it. When you're brand new in the business, you might get overwhelmed. Getting overwhelmed means, oh, I'm so excited. I watched this 30-minute video with David Wood. He hypnotized me and I bought, And now what? Now you got this blog and you're suddenly going, oh man, I'm overwhelmed. So you're like, I have to learn everything. Okay, and I've got to, not only do I have to learn everything, but you might spend 2, 3, 4, 5 hours on your first blog post. Some of you might even still be procrastinating on your first blog post and haven't even done it yet. So my point here is the third pitfall that you want to avoid, no matter what, is simply the fact of don't take so much time blogging, especially in the beginning. Okay, you want to learn how to do this fast. What I would recommend to everybody is set an amount of time you're going to sit in front of the computer, and when you've reached that amount of time, just stop. Just stop, sit down. If when you're brand new, I get it. it's a big learning curve maybe for some of you, so maybe it takes a whole hour to write a blog post. And then maybe you get to the point where you're like David Wood, and he just writes really fast and throws it up on the blog. Maybe, I bet some of David Wood's good blog posts might have been done in 10 minutes, you know, just because he's got the gift of copywriting these days. But I'll bet everybody started out a little slower. Okay? So maybe you set a whole hour, but you look at the clock, you go, okay, it's 6 p.m., I'm going to start my blog post and press start. But by 7 p.m., I'm going to stop no matter what, and I'm going to publish. And you know what? You're going to be judgmental over it. You're going to say, oh, it's not perfect. Oh, you know, there's this problem, there's that problem. But who cares? See, you're going to get 95% of the job is going to be done in like the first 30 minutes anyways. The other 10% of tweaking the post can take hours. So the third pitfall to avoid is time. Don't get sucked into it. Be very, very careful of that. And those are the three pitfalls that I would suggest avoiding. So again, just in summary, the mindset of going into this is extremely important. This is a long-term play. I'm going to teach you these strategies. You should be looking at about 3 months, even 6 months. And you should be saying, if I stay consistent with this and follow what's being told and blog daily and promote my posts, in 3 to 6 months, this thing can become a traffic machine that generates me leads even while I'm sleeping. And just for the sake of proof of that, I'm getting about 50 leads a day right now from my blog. It's pretty exciting. I'm getting leads all over the place. I even get sales. I get several sales a week just from my blog, automated with people I don't talk to at all. And I've only been in the business since June, 5 months. Okay, so it's very, very possible when you get it going on. All right, let's talk a little bit about how to convert your Empower Network blog into an effective lead generation machine. Okay, you want to get this thing going. Obviously, you've got the basics, like improving your picture up here. But a lot of people don't know you can actually, create some tabs up here as well. Now, Dave and Dave have done the phenomenal job on putting some existing sales tabs up here. So for some of you, you might want to leave those up, but for some of you, you might want to tweak it out. You might want to put your own stuff up there, okay? So, for instance, one of the things that I love doing is I love having a contact form. Not that I want to talk to people, don't get me wrong, but I love having the idea of a contact form. So I just went to contact me, I got the code, and I put it in as a page, and then I went up to my menus, and I put that in. And depending on time, we might get into it, but basically, if you log into your blog, and I'm in advanced mode, by the way, if you log into your blog and you go to menus, that's basically where it is. These are some of the appearances where you can tweak some of the stuff out. I just went and took the items that were in there, I removed them, and I put in my own pages. I could add more links right here. So you could basically put anything you want in that menu and then save it and have it go up there. Okay. So that's one of the things I love. I get probably 2 contacts a day through this form, and when people contact me asking me questions, generally I'll just email them back, whatever Empower Network link to go check out. It's pretty simple, and then they end up signing up. Almost pretty much, I'd say, I don't know, I don't want to say exactly, but I think it's roughly probably about 50% of the people that contact me on this form end up joining. Okay, and one of the reasons is because now I can tailor the opportunity to meet their needs. They email me, I quickly shoot them an email back. Like for instance, they say, oh, hey, I'm a real estate professional. How would this work for me? And then I'll just shoot them a little paragraph. Oh, this thing could be perfect for real estate professionals because of X, Y, Z. And then, shoot them over a link. Here, watch this video. This will explain everything. Okay. You might want to do another thing if you've got a team going or whatever, some bonus that you might want to offer people. It doesn't really matter. Really, you could put anything up here. You might be in another company or, promoting another affiliate thing, whatever. That's one of the things I do there. Another thing that you can tweak out is you can put banners into your blog. You can put tons of banners. I have tons. You can put any kind of banners anywhere. I've even got another lead capture form here. That's probably overkill. So I don't know if you should do that. That's probably overkill. But click submit to get instant access to a powerful audio file that shares how I went from a 485 credit score and a negative bank account to 500K in my first 12 months in top tier sales. Now that was with my last company. But keep in mind, I'm only in my first 5 months with this company. I've already made around $85,000. So I wouldn't doubt it if we give this number a run for its money here in this company. You can put in whatever you want. So I guess the main thing I'm trying to show you here is that you have room here. This whole section is in your widgets, right? So if you want these banners to show up, they're just text widgets. You just drop text in there. And here's kind of an example of what it will look like. The code is basically, it's basically HTML code, but it's really quite simple. And the reason I say it's really quite simple is that you can get this code generated automatically for you. Okay, you just go in your posts, you just go create a new post over here, add a new post, right? And then you can insert like an image or something like that. We'll just grab one. You can insert an image like this one here. insert it in a post, doesn't even matter what it looks like. Okay, so you grab an image from your computer, whatever, and then you can sit there and you can make that thing a hyperlink, and you can have it go wherever you want. Google.com, let's say. There you go. So now I've got an image that's a hyperlink, and it was just created in literally 2 seconds. Okay, and you could even do some other cool things. You can click on it, click that little picture right there, and you can resize it, but I don't like resizing it there. You know, you go to advanced settings and watch this. This is one of the coolest little tips that I'll give you here. Where it says width, do 100%, and then height, nothing. Okay. Width, 100%, height, nothing. And that'll always stretch your picture to fit 100%. If your picture's in your blog post, it'll fit all the way along. If your picture's in your sidebar and your widgets, it'll fit completely and fit nice and neat. Width, 100%, height, none. And then you just update it. So just like that, you click HTML, and there's your code. Okay? It's not hard, folks. I'm not, let me say something. I'm not going to get so technical that the whole webinar is going to be like this, just because so much of this information is available on the web as well, basic HTML. I'm more or less, I guess, trying to show you what's possible. If you want to convert your Empower Network blog into an effective lead generation machine, you know, you've got the ability to add your own banners. You've got the ability to add stuff, you know, cool stuff. Okay, so you've got the ability to, you see these pictures are all 100% width. You see that technique I just showed you is 100% width. It just fits, everything looks really nice when you do that. Okay, so that's just an example. Okay, here, you know, what I like to do is put some sort of call to action at the bottom of my blog posts. Now, this is a banner that I had made for like 10 bucks. I can't remember if I had it made on Fiverr or if I had it made, Fiverr's FIVERR.com. And, you know, I can't remember if I had it made there or at Odesk, some outsourcer, you know, I don't know. If some of you have kids, just go grab your like 10-year-old kid and they probably know how to throw this together, you know, just for free. But you know, what I do is you just get a cool graphic. In fact, you could even just search Google Images, and there's so many cool Empower Network graphics. It's crazy. You know, and let's just do it real quick. You go to Google. We'll just do it right here. Empower Network, you know, banner or something like that, and then go to Images, just to show you. I mean, look at all this stuff. You know, obviously a lot of other people created it. I'm not saying you should just steal their stuff, but you know, hey, you know, we're a sharing industry. But you know, obviously, if they have some sort of website link on there, as if this said, you know, www.myblog.com, you don't want to advertise it, but you know, you could find, you know, here you go right here, how to increase your daily earnings. So you could take an image like this, upload it to your blog, make the width 100%, and then hyperlink this to one of your lead capture pages. And now you can just do that. So this is a way, and I'll come back, actually, you know, here's what I'll do. I'll come back to that in a minute. In a minute, we'll talk about the call to action and sort of the importance of that. This is actually a really light one. But you can really do some stuff. Here's the about the author section. You know, this is a real long one. I don't know that you need to do that much. I've been experimenting with different stuff. But one thing I'll tell you, you can tweak out. You could put links in here. You know, links are pretty cool. You can just put little links in there, stuff like that. And, you know, to put in a link, you should Google it. How to, you know, HTML code to make a link. That's really how simple it is. I don't need to sit here and teach too much basics. But the code's basically going to look like this. href equals, and then you're going to put in whatever the site is, you know, and then there you go. And then your text is linked right there, and then you close it. So anything in between those brackets is linked. It's that simple. Okay, so the deal is you're going to have to look it up. You know, you might have to tweak with it. And then if you want to make it a little bit bolder like that, you know, you can just make the whole thing strong. That's what it is. Left bracket, strong right bracket. Okay, and then close. That little code closes. So again, this is not an HTML class because HTML is so easy to see on the web. And believe me, you can talk to any blogger. Take take David Wood, for example. At some point, he probably learned some basic HTML. You know, you don't have to be an expert. The whole blog is built for you, so you don't even need to do this. But this is an advanced 15K formula module, so I'm showing you some basics and tricks, and you could do some stuff in here. Now that's about all you can do. There's not a whole lot more you can do. Of course, you can get your picture in there. You know, if you don't know how, you can go to Empower Network Support. They show how to do all this. But this is a service called Gravatar. So, you know, you can just go to gravatar.com. You can see right there, gravatar.com. And you upload a picture into Gravatar. That's the same email address you have with your blog, and boom, it shows up just like that. And this section right here is all in your users, your profile. Okay, so again, I really don't want to get too caught up in crazy stuff. And I will tell you right here, getting a form in here is a little bit advanced, so that's why I don't even want to train on that. It's probably overkill anyways. But you can have little things like, I just wrote this article in, I just wanted to do a speed article to see if it was possible. I think I wrote this article in 2 minutes or 3 minutes, okay? How to get paid money to review products on YouTube, this and that. Have you ever seen those video reviews, blah, blah, blah? You get paid. I put in a picture, made it 100%. Get paid to review products on YouTube. This is a private training. Contact me if you're interested. I look forward to working with you. There was just a simple little blog post I just did. I just saw this graphic, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool little graphic. I threw it right there. It's not even cropped or anything. I threw it there and made a little blog post, and the whole thing took me like 3 minutes. So it might even take you like 10 minutes, but it's just a cool way you can tweak out your site and have stuff, links to articles, or whatever you want to do. Okay, so you can basically deck out your blog. There's a lot of different things you can do, but those are just some of the things I wanted to show you. I also recommend having your posts here, all your recent posts, because Google needs to find your site. I see so many blogs that don't have this. You don't have your recent posts. You need to go put those up. And the way you're going to put those up is you're going to go to your widgets, okay, and they've already got your widgets for you. Okay, so you're just going to drop in your recent posts. So you're going to take this right here, and you're going to go drop it over here in your widgets area, whatever, and then you can call it whatever. I called mine Internet Marketing Articles. Number of posts to show, I don't know, I called it 20, What it does is it basically shows your recent posts. If you want to take it out, look, you just drag it away. Somebody came up mute on the call. I don't know if a moderator wants to mute everybody or not. It's probably somebody on the, if somebody else is on the panelist code, maybe just check your mute real quick. Wasn't that bad. So, look, I'm not going to go too crazy right now with everything right there. I just wanted to show you the tip of the surface that you can go convert your Empower Network blog and do some really cool stuff with it. Okay, the next thing I want to talk to you about is choosing a strategy. You want to choose a strategy for your blog content that combines both profit, because you want to be profitable, but also passion. So you got to have sort of a topic that you blog about. Now, I've heard everything. Okay, let's say that you just want to tell your story. Okay, that's cool. Tell your story. But there's a pitfall to avoid there. If you're going to tell your story, you got to make your story compelling, and you've got to figure out how to add a call to action to everything that you do. I'll give you a good example of storytelling. David Sharp. Okay, David Sharp has a powerful story, right, between his recovery program, between his old busted truck that he used to drive around, starting with a screwdriver, between his crazy life and his kids and all this stuff that he's got going on, and just how he's bounced around and made so much success despite all that. He's a storyteller. So is David Wood. So two good examples of the Daves. Now, they can blog and they can tell their story really well. You know what I mean? So for them, they tell their story, but they always weave it to some sort of lesson. They tell, like, they archive in their mind. They've got so many past stories that they archive and they pull them out, and they just teach people lessons of their life, and then they have some call to action. Now, that's a great way of storytelling. Here's a pitfall. A pitfall is, the title is something like, when I went to the bank, and that's it. And then the story is like, hey, I went to the bank, yesterday, and it was really cool, and I met a few cool people, and, and also it was sunny that day, and then I went to the beach later, and now I'm blogging on Empower Network, and, I haven't made any money yet, but, I'm really hoping this thing will work. Okay? You'd be surprised how many posts I see like that. Now, on one hand, I give you kudos for at least blogging, you're on step in the right direction. But I guess the question is, what can you really expect from that? There's no real keywords that anybody's searching for to find you. There's no call to action. You're not really telling anybody what to do. And there's no real theme. Like, there's no real reason to follow you. So if you're going to tell stories like that, if you're going to tell stories that are super simple, that are just you just kind of talking, it's better to go on Facebook and Twitter for that. So the blog here is your chance to use this to create traffic, capture leads, and convert sales. So you've got to